Okay, so have you ever had that moment? You know, you're chatting with someone in English, maybe at a party or even online, and you suddenly realize, uh-oh, I need leave. But you don't want to sound rude.
Oh, yeah. Or you blank on someone's name like seconds after they told you.
Exactly. We've all been there, right?
Yeah,
That little, like, pang of awkwardness. It's something so many language learners run into.
absolutely. And feeling confident in everyday English, it isn't just about the grammar, it's also having those handy little phrases that help you navigate things smoothly, sound more natural.
Even when you're feeling a bit unsure.
Hmm.
And that is exactly what we're digging into in this deep dive. We've got this great little snapshot for you, um, a conversation from an English learning source, and it's just packed with these kinds of practical tips.
Yeah, communication nuggets.
Totally. Think of this as like your guide to unlocking some really useful phrases and figuring out how they actually work in real life.
Our mission basically is to give you phrases you can actually use, like right away. We'll break down what they mean, sure, but also how and when to use them.
So you can boost your confidence, feel a bit more comfortable speaking English.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's set the scene. The conversation we're drawing from, it starts with a situation that's just so relatable. Picture this. You're at a language exchange.
Which you're great, by the way.
Oh, totally.
Right.
Great way to practice.
Yeah.
You're meeting people, chatting away, but then later, maybe at a coffee shop, you bump into someone you met earlier.
And that name you definitely exchanged.
Gone. Completely vanished from your brain.
That little blank is so, so common, isn't it?
It really is.
It just shows why having a few, conversational tricks up your sleeve is so valuable. Little
Nightmare.
tools to handle those slightly sticky moments gracefully.
Right. Okay, so in the original scenario, someone needed to politely wrap up a conversation. They were short on time, and one phrase they used was, in a bit of a rush.
Mm.
What's the deal with that one?
Mm.
How to use it effectively?
Well, in a bit of a rush is just a wonderful sort of gentle way to say you don't have much time right now.
Okay.
It's polite because it puts the focus on your situation, your time constraint, not like, this conversation isn't important.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's a soft signal that you need to move on without being abrupt. In many English-speaking cultures, being mindful of time, yours and others, is, well, it's valued.
And the source gives some really good examples. Like someone might say, can we talk later? I'm in a bit of a rush.
Right. Direct, but still friendly, leaves the door open.
Yeah. Or, I'm in a bit of a rush, so we'll grab coffee to go. That explains a quick action.
Exactly. Or describing someone else like, she was in a bit of a rush and forgot her keys.
Happens to the best of us.
It does. So for you, the listener, thinking about those times you need to politely excuse yourself. In a
Yeah.
bit of a rush, it's a great go-to.
Good one to have. Okay, moving on. Another key thing when you're connecting with people, especially learning a language, building that network, is exchanging contact details.
Mm.
Seems pretty straightforward, but is there more to it?
Well, yeah, a little bit. I mean, the words are clear, right? But contact details acts as this standard, almost slightly formal way to refer to all the info you need to get in touch.
Like name, number, email.
Exactly. Phone number, email, maybe a social media handle, or even like a profile link on a language platform. It's just understood professionally and socially.
So if you meet someone you actually want to practice English with.
Asking for their contact details is just a very clear, accepted way to do that.
Okay. The examples from the source show this well. Can you share your contact details so we can chat later? Very polite, very direct.
Yep. And then I lost his contact details, so I can't call him.
Yeah.
Shows the downside of not having them.
Right. And here's my card with all my contact details.
Mm.
That feels a bit more formal, maybe, like a business card situation.
It can be, yeah. Or just efficient.
Yeah.
But what's neat is how using this phrase comfortably can really help you build that language community. It takes you from just a quick chat to potentially ongoing practice.
Makes sense. Okay, let's circle back to forgetting that name. The phrase that popped up was slipped my mind.
Yes.
It just sounds so much, I don't know, gentler, less panicky than blurting out, I forgot your name.
It really does. Slipped my mind is such a common, natural way to say you forgot something unintentionally, usually something temporary.
Like it just flew away for a second.
Exactly. It acknowledges the memory lapse without making a huge deal out of it. It's really human,
Yeah.
And using it can actually sort of diffuse potential awkwardness. It sounds much better than just a blunt, I forgot.
Yeah. Definitely. The examples really show its everyday use, like, I forgot to call you back, it slipped my mind. We've all done that.
Oh, absolutely. Or, her birthday slipped my mind completely.
Yeah.
That admits a bigger oversight, but still, softly.
Yeah. And I meant to bring my book, but it slipped my mind.
Hmm.
Just a casual way to explain forgetting a small task, maybe with a little apology implied.
And what's interesting here, I think, is how using slipped my mind makes your English sound more idiomatic. It shows you're not just translating word for word.
All right, you're using common expressions.
Exactly. So for you listening, having this phrase ready, it can be a real confidence booster for those moments because, let's face it, they happen. Helps you handle it with a bit more grace.
Okay, so we've got those key phrases for specific situations. Now, the source also mentions some related phrases that just come up all the time. Location stuff first. Around here and around the corner.
Ah, yes. The geography twins.
What's the subtle difference there?
Well, around here is generally more general. It means somewhere in the vicinity, not too far, but the exact distance is a bit vague. Could be a few blocks, maybe?
Okay, nearby-ish.
Nearby-ish, exactly. But around the corner is much more specific. It usually means very close, like literally turn the corner or on the next street. Easily walkable.
Gotcha. The examples make that clear. Is there a cafe around here? He's just asking about the general area.
Right. Or I don't know anyone around here means you're not familiar with people in this specific local zone.
And contrast that with there's a great bakery right around the corner. That feels super close.
Precisely. So for you, these are invaluable for asking directions, describing places, just getting your bearings. Knowing the difference helps you be clearer.
Avoid sending someone on a wild goose chase when you meant around the corner.
Exactly.
All right, another useful one, maybe for admitting something you're not great at.
Yeah.
Terrible with. How do people use that?
Terrible with. It's pretty colloquial, often a bit self-deprecating. It just means you're really bad at something or maybe dislike it intensely. Usually used for skills or abilities, not like deep personality flaws.
Okay.
And the tone is usually pretty lighthearted, kind of invites understanding, maybe even, oh yeah, me too.
Right. The examples are spot on. I'm terrible with names. I always forget them. Connects right back to our earlier point.
Doesn't it? Or he's terrible with directions and gets lost every time. Paints a clear picture.
Guilty as charged sometime.
And I'm terrible with tech. My computer always crashes. Yeah. A funny way to admit you're not exactly a digital native.
Yeah. So what's cool about terrible with is you can be honest about a weakness without sounding super negative or like you're making excuses.
Exactly that. It can even be a way to connect. Like I said, if someone else says they're also terrible with names, suddenly you've got something in common.
Right. So for the listener, it's a handy phrase for acknowledging a difficulty in a casual, approachable way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's switch gears a little. Let's talk about sounding more fluent. The source mentioned a couple of fluency builders, they called them.
Yeah, little phrases that help you sound less like you're reading from a script.
Totally. The first one, fancy seeing you here. It has this nice surprised feel to it.
Exactly. Fancy seeing you here is informal, friendly. It expresses surprise, but also pleasure at bumping into someone unexpectedly.
Like, wow, didn't expect to see you.
Pretty much. What a coincidence. It just adds a real touch of naturalness to a greeting when you weren't expecting to see that person.
And it's easy to use, based on the examples. Just a cheerful, fancy seeing you here.
Or, hey, fancy seeing you at the mall. Simple as that. It just injects that bit of friendly informality.
Definitely feels more spontaneous than just hello in that situation.
It really does. Shows you're comfortable with more colloquial English, makes the interaction feel more alive.
Okay, the other fluency builder was no worries at all. This feels super common, very laid back.
Oh, it's incredibly common. No worries at all is just a very casual, reassuring way to say, it's okay, or don't worry about it, not a problem.
So someone apologizes for something small.
And you hit them with the no worries at all. It signals reassurance, a relaxed attitude. It's a staple of everyday chat, helps things flow smoothly.
The examples nail it.
Yeah.
Someone says, sorry I'm late. Response, no worries at all.
Perfect. Or, I forgot your book. No worries at all. Bring it next time. Kind, easygoing.
Takes the awkwardness out.
Exactly. The key, though, is the tone. You got to sound genuinely relaxed, not like you're secretly annoyed.
Right.
But yeah, it's essential for showing a bit of empathy, putting people at ease.
Definitely good ones to add to the toolkit. Now, the source conversation also slipped in a really practical tip for learners. Practice with real people.
Ah, yes. Crucial.
It even mentioned the type of platform where you can connect with others for this. Why is that real-world practice so important?
Well, learning a language, it's dynamic, isn't it? Studying grammar, vocab, that's the foundation, totally essential. But actually using it in conversation with real humans.
That's where the magic happens.
That's where the progress happens. It exposes you to the actual rhythm of spoken English, different accents, lets you try out these phrases in context.
Makes sense.
And yeah, platforms that help you connect with practice partners, they can be incredibly valuable for bridging that gap between like textbook knowledge and real communication.
Absolutely. And tying into that, the source also made a point about not being afraid to make mistakes.
Yeah.
It feels like standard advice, but why is embracing errors so key?
Because making mistakes isn't just like possible when learning a language, it's guaranteed. It's essential, actually.
That's it.
It's how you figure out where the gaps are. It's how you learn. If you're too scared to mess up, you might just not speak much at all.
Which definitely slows you down.
Hugely. So viewing errors as learning opportunities, like the source said, it just fosters a much more positive, proactive attitude, builds confidence in the long run.
Okay, so let's quickly recap. In this deep dive, we've pulled out some really practical phrases. We had "in a bit of a rush," contact details, and "slip my mind" for those social navigation moments.
And then the everyday description stuff like around here versus around the corner and admitting weakness lightly with terrible with.
Plus those fluency boosters.
Mhm.
Fancy seeing you here for surprise encounters.
And no worries at all for those smooth, reassuring replies.
And underneath it all, the big takeaways. Get out there, practice with people.
And don't sweat the mistakes. They're part of the journey.
Seriously. So we really hope you take these phrases and actually try them out. Don't just let them sit in your notes. Look for chances to use them. Listen for how native speakers use them.
Adapt them, make them your own.
Exactly.
Which actually brings up a final little thought for you to chew on. Think about which of these phrases we discussed really resonates with you. Maybe one seems super useful, or maybe one feels, I don't know, a bit tricky.
It's hard to imagine yourself saying it naturally.
Yeah, just reflecting on why that might be why one clicks and another feels awkward. That can actually tell you a lot about your own learning process, where you might want to focus your practice.
It's all about taking these ideas and making them work for you, right? Language learning is this ongoing exploration, and really, every conversation is a new chance to learn, to connect, and just get better.